Sir Keir Starmer has had a very easy ride from the establishment and the media. It is time to hold Keir Starmer to account. Keir Starmer is driven primarily by a lust for power. Here is somebody who called Jeremy Corbyn a friend one day.
I want to pay tribute to Jeremy Corbyn, who's a friend as well as a colleague.
Claimed another day he'd never done anything of the sort.
You wouldn't call Jeremy Corbyn a friend?
No.
Keir Starmer has supported the cutting off of power and water to the people of Gaza.
Cutting off power, cutting off water, Sir Keir?
Well, I think that Israel does have that right.
Something he then denied ever having said.
I was not saying that Israel had the right to cut off water, food, fuel or medicine.
This rewriting of history to fuel and feed a contemporary political position shows somebody who has no real grounded values, but rather desires power for power's sake. I am standing against Keir Starmer because he is emblematic of everything that is wrong with our politics. If we look, for instance, at the obvious issue of our day, which is the genocide taking place in Gaza, over 70% of people in Britain have wanted a ceasefire for the last 7 months. None of our senior mainstream politicians have supported such a ceasefire. Keir Starmer was a human rights lawyer. However, he has yet to comment on the fact that the highest court in the world, the International Court of Justice, has ruled that there is a probable risk that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. He is a human rights lawyer who has lost his humanity. Rather than demanding the prosecution of those who have committed war crimes, Keir Starmer has enabled and supported the prosecution and extradition of the one person, Julian Assange, who has revealed those war crimes. And if one looks at his career heading the Crown Prosecution Service, there are no instances in which he has recommended the indicting of agents of the state, people who have committed crimes while working for the state. We have seen a person who operates politically with scant regard for democracy. When Keir Starmer sought the leadership of the Labour Party, he announced 10 pledges.
You made 10 policy pledges for this campaign. Let's see how watertight they are. Can you guarantee that under your leadership, the 2019 Labour commitments to nationalise water, energy, rail, the Royal Mail, they'll all be in Labour's next election manifesto?
I've made that commitment.
He has violated and gone back on each of those 10 pledges.
Will you nationalise the big 6 energy companies, yes or no?
No.
No, you will not.
He has decided that the Labour Party will commit to sticking with Conservative Party fiscal rules and spending plans. While he supports an increase in the defence budget, he does not support increases for the things that so desperately need more money invested in them: the National Health Service, education, care services, the level of wages. And when we then add that, as leader of the Labour Party, he has behaved in an extraordinarily undemocratic manner, almost go so far as to describe it as authoritarian, by expelling huge numbers of members for what he claims to be anti-Semitism, which is often nothing of the sort. In fact, under Keir Starmer's leadership, the Labour Party has expelled more Jews than at any time in the rest of the party's history. Keir Starmer stated that he was a Zionist without qualification. He also seems to regard those who are not Zionist as anti-Semitic. He seems ignorant of the reality that many, many Jews, including Israeli Jews, are anti-Zionist or non-Zionist. In reality, he is using anti-Semitism as a weapon to fight factional political battles within the Labour Party. And as the son of a Holocaust survivor, my late mother, she lost dozens of her extended family, primarily at Auschwitz. To abuse something as serious as anti-Semitism in this way is, to me, deeply problematic. When it comes to foreign policy, Starmer, perhaps even more so than Tony Blair was, seems to be a supporter of British involvement in foreign conflicts. And I have seen nothing in anything that Keir Starmer has written or said that suggests he is anything but pro-war, pro an untrammeled, unregulated British arms trade that provides significant amounts of money and donations to our political parties and often post their retirement to our individual politicians. We all want the Tories out, but do we want a government led by Keir Starmer, of someone who is instinctively undemocratic and authoritarian? These are the exact opposites of my views. I had the enormous honor of serving under Nelson Mandela as a member of parliament for the ANC, and I suppose that my political outlook has been molded by my involvement in the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. Mandela imprinted on us that we were there to represent the people who had put us there, the people who at the end of the day pay our salary, and that from the moment we feel we are more important is the moment at which we're of no value to those people, to our political movement, or in fact to the country. So I suppose that has really motivated me to stand for Parliament in the United Kingdom that has been my home for the last 23 years. Today, the UK has more billionaires than at any time in its history. But we also have more people needing to use food bags to feed their families than at any time since the end of the Second World War. And unfortunately, the Labour Party under Keir Starmer has made it clear that it will do nothing to end this crisis. The people of Holborn and St Pancras have the opportunity now to hold Keir Starmer to account, to vote for an alternative, someone who will represent them. I have spent my adult life exposing and revealing political corruption. I resigned from Parliament in South Africa because my own party had engaged in a profoundly corrupt arms deal. My life's work since then has been exposing the impact of the remarkably corrupt global arms trade. Keir Starmer appears to be a politician who is most comfortable operating in the shadows, operating in the unaccountable, untransparent darkness. It is time to shed light on our murky politics. It is time to hold Keir Starmer to account. It is time for politics to serve the people. If you want to be involved in holding power to account, join our campaign at andrewfeinstein.org. And if you want a media that holds all politicians and the powerful to account, join Double Down News on Patreon.